I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You see, we're on a mission from God.
Great Scott.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hasta la vista, baby. Go ahead. Make my day.
I'm Ricky Bobby. You don't chew Big Red, then you.
Welcome to this episode of the Movie Zealots podcast. I'm your host, Tom, joined alongside my fellow Zealots, Joe and Paul. How you guys doing for this episode?
Doing great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. This episode, we are reviewing the movies The Irishman, Last Christmas, Frozen 2, and the feature presentation is Knives Out. But like we do at the beginning of every month, oh, wait, no, that's not true for this one. Wah, wah, wah. Yes, wow. Paul has already claimed victory, and
wow.
The game for the season has been concluded.
And thankfully, Tom's not just having him run up the score.
There is mercy. There is a mercy roll, and it is in full effect. But fans of games, stay tuned for next season, beginning January, not next episode, but the episode after, we will start a brand new game. And Joe, I think I am going to switch it up and make it a different type of game. So I haven't decided what it is or how it's going to work yet, but stay tuned. I have Christmas vacation to figure it out.
But it has to be a bonus for me.
Yeah.
It won't get worse.
No. It'll work out better for you somehow, some way. All right. So instead of that, let's go right into From the Cutting Room Floor. All right, this episode's Cutting Room Floor, I actually don't have anything, believe it or not. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to populate this segment. So take it away. I know, Joe, you have something and Paul has something. Paul, do you want to begin since you usually don't participate?
It's just a complaint that, all right, so we all get Maria, however you say her last name.
Menounos.
And her advertisements, but it feels like they're starting to put advertisements in the previews, which, I mean, after the movie starts, I shouldn't have to watch any more advertisement, right? I mean, I paid to get in here. and like that day, thirstiest time of the year. Did you guys have to watch that thing?
Oh, that commercial with the Sprite?
I'm just so sick of seeing those cards. Maybe it's because we see movies so much, but
yeah. Well, you see,
that and is it AT&T or something there's one, and you're like, oh, I'm just so sick of seeing.
Oh, that one with that horrible song and the.
Yeah. It's bad. Why do we have to watch advertising? I mean,
just show up a little later in the movie. Don't show up for the preview.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah. I'm here for product placement.
How do you know when the previews are going to be over, though? I mean, they literally go
like 5 minutes after the start time. You should get rid of most of the previews and go right into the trailers.
But then I miss the beginning sometimes, right?
No, beginning of what? The movie?
Oh, you're right. It's at least 15
you got at least 20 minutes of trailers. At least.
Yeah. When did that happen? I mean, I feel like I'm an old man here. Back in my day.
Yeah, you're saying.
They had 2 or 3 previews, and then they'd be done with it.
Gone with the Wind, yeah.
Yeah. When I went and saw Wizard of Oz with the spectacular.
Didn't have all those colors. It was just black and white. It was lovely.
And I had an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time.
The ladies knew who were the ladies.
Piano player, he would be.
They had real piano play. They had people in the theater playing organs. Yeah, lovely. Now I'm going into Sean Connery. Miss Moneypenny.
anyway, that's my old guy.
Okay, so you're an old man. All right, lovely.
Too many advertisements.
Dang it. And I'd say too many trailers. I mean, you're literally a good half hour after the start time. You could walk in and not miss a second of the movie.
And that's what I noticed, too. They played the same trailer twice in a row again when I went to Knives Out.
Really? They must really want... Yeah,
which
one?
movie are they pushing?
I don't remember. That's the worst part. I don't even remember. I just remember
let me tell you something.
Oh, this stupid trailer.
As long as we don't see a trailer for the movie that we're in the theater to see, I'm okay.
And you're okay with it?
If I have to sit through the Knives Out trailer before I go see Knives Out, oh, come on.
I didn't see the Star Wars trailer, which I probably wouldn't have minded so much, but...
I think I did see that.
Might have? I'm just so over Star Wars.
Wow. Well, that has to be our... in the upcoming episode, that has to be our feature presentation, right?
I know. That's killing me. It's like, I'm going to have to watch this movie.
There's no way we cannot have that as a feature presentation.
Right? It's like, I gotta go watch this dumb thing now.
Oh my lord! Oh
goodness.
Well, and the latest Mandalorian episode, are we allowed? Is that skipping ahead?
I still haven't watched more
little,
than 2 episodes.
It was a little mediocre. You watch it, you let me know.
Okay.
You know who Amy Sedaris is? Probably not.
No.
Strangers with Candy. Did you ever watch that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, she's in it, and she's a great comedian, but I don't know that she fits kind of the Star Wars theme. But go ahead.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, there you go. As long as Baby Yoda is still in it, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh no, he died. He died.
No, baby Yoda.
That would be a weird turn.
Yeah.
Not Yoda was a ghost the whole time.
Yeah, oh, son of a gun. Huh. He really was a puppet.
Yeah, can you imagine if that happens? There would be no escaping that spoiler, right? I mean, it would be everywhere.
Oh my Lord, holy cow, that would be crazy. All right, Joe, what about you?
Let's see, Paul. I had something else that Paul reminded me of, and then it went away again just as quick. So,
Lovely.
It wasn't Mrs. Menounos, was it?
No, it was something you said right after Mrs. Menounos, and I was like, oh, I need to mention that, and then it went away.
Huh. Yeah,
Could not have been very good. But I noticed, and this is a kind of a crossover episode thing with the Vacationeers.
Oh.
So we were down in Disney Springs over Thanksgiving weekend.
Lovely.
And they have a giant AMC there and an AMC dine-in.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep.
And I was just curious because there was this giant line for Frozen 2.
Oh, of course.
And as we're going by, I popped open the old AMC app, and that theater does not show up in the app at all.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it's excluded from the AMC.
It appears to be.
Really? Because
I was like, oh, yeah, we're here. What the heck? And maybe we'll catch Knives Out while we're here.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And I popped the app open, and the closest theater to me was like 8 miles away. And I'm like, I'm standing in front of it.
Huh. Yeah, I guess no bueno on the old... did you go to Universal City Walk?
We did not.
Oh, okay. I was curious.
I went to the hotel to get my shot glass that I didn't get the last trip.
Yes.
So we parked at the guest check-in parking, ran into the hotel gift shop.
Got
so we're thinking,
shot glass.
we could just park in the garage and hop on that bus and go to City Walk. But
yeah. No,
that'd be totally fine because they don't give you a parking pass or anything for the car. They're garages.
No, yep.
I mean, I even could have got a free charge off them while I was there, but I was like, no, I can't really abuse them like that.
Yes, yeah. You don't want to be part of the problem, Joe.
I try not to be.
All right, there you go. Anything else? Other than that weird.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unless Paul sparks my memory again.
Be his muse, Paul. Be his muse. Yeah.
No, I can't think of. I mean, I have plenty of complaints. I just have to come up with one more succinctly.
No worries. You know what? We'll start doing the movies because we have a ton to go through, like I said, and we'll begin with The Irishman, released. Well, this is. It says November 27th, 2019. I'm not sure if that's the theatrical release that released a week early or the Netflix release. I think that's the Netflix actually, because I think it was released in theaters beginning of November. So. Released, this is a Netflix release movie. November 27th, 2019, rated R, runtime 3 hours and 29 minutes. Yeah, this movie is long. Starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. Description: a mob hitman recalls his possible involvement with the slaying of Jimmy Hoffa. IMDb gives it an 8.3 out of 10, while Rotten Tomatoes critics give it a 96%, and the audience gives it an 86%. Box office budget, $159 million. And Box Office Mojo has... Oh, not Box. No, IMDb. IMDb has the worldwide gross as $797,000.
There we go.
Wow.
Well, being a Netflix release, you really can't... Yeah. You can't really... It's not apples to apples, So that's hilarious, though. Almost $160 million budget. It didn't make $1 million.
Maybe a couple $100,000.
Yeah, there you go. Notes: the house that appears at the beginning of the film is the same house that appears in Goodfellas. Okay, so I have to edit my my words here since it's a PG podcast. The F word and all its permutations are used 136 times. This marks the 6th film directed by Martin Scorsese that contains more than 100 uses of the word. All right, so he has listed 5 movies the counts of the F word in these movies. I'm going to give you all 5, and you guys tell me which one do you think is the one with the most uses of the F word.
Oh boy, here's our game.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, you have Raging Bull, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed, and The Wolf of Wall Street.
I'll go with Raging Bull.
Raging Bull.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, it is The Wolf of Wall Street, which I would never have picked The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's all they said in that.
Really?
It was funny. I was watching The Irishman, and Carol's walking by, and she says, "Do they use any other words in these mob movies?" That's all they say.
Yeah. So yeah, it was,
Wolf of Wall Street. It was a lot.
I didn't even realize it.
I think for your next game, you ought to include Tarantino and the N-word into the pile.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So The Wolf of Wall Street has 569 uses, whereas Raging Bull, Paul, has 114. Goodfellas has an even 300. Casino has 422, and The Departed has 237. So yeah, lot of F-bombs dropping. Thoughts? Okay, so that's all the notes I have. All right, this my thoughts, Joe. Now you saw this, Paul. You did not. Is that accurate?
That is.
Okay.
I did not see it. No.
Okay. So I turned this movie on a couple nights ago, like at 7:30 in the night, thinking, okay, let me just watch this thing. I never even looked to see how long this movie was. So I started watching it, and it was like after it's going and going. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with this movie? And it was like after 10 o'clock, I'm like, this movie is still going. Is this a miniseries or a movie? It was long, and I'm sorry, but it felt long. It was a long movie. This thing, one of the notes I didn't put in the notes, my notes, is that they considered making it a two-part, like a movie and a sequel, and they really should have, because this thing.
No, they shouldn't have.
Well, yeah.
No, they shouldn't have. It's now over, and I can just close this book and not think.
Yeah, Joe Pesci, he didn't even want to be in this. Like, they had to ask him like over 50 times to be in this movie, come out of retirement, and he did not want to. But
well, maybe he didn't know if they were talking to him or not.
Now let me tell you something about the de-aging. I'm fine with de-aging. Okay, if you want to make his face look a little younger, so be it. But the one thing de-aging cannot do is change old man posture and the way they move. And this movie failed in that. And so,
oh my God! And when Joe Pesci called him "Hey kid" to De Niro, it's like, I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah, De Niro at his youngest in this movie looked mid-40s,
like
right?
Yeah, he looked like an old ass man.
Yeah, he was never a kid in this movie. Like
they needed to just get young.
Yes.
Bad guy as a different actor, and because it was ridiculous, because I had no idea the entire time how old they were supposed to be, because they digitally messed them up so badly.
Yep.
That I couldn't even gauge their relative ages at any point through the film.
Let me tell you something. And the most glaring part of this was the scene where the shopkeeper pushed his daughter, and he went and he beat him up. It looked like a 90-year-old guy beating up a dude. Like, his movements, they weren't fluid. They were very precise. They were slow. It just did not. I mean, it looked bad. Like, it was an old man, digitally de-aged, beating up another dude. It's like, oh man,
and not even well de-aged.
No, it was just
de-aged him into his 50s.
Well, I mean, how you can't only do so much.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole. I mean, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, this movie was made way like 20 years too late for these actors to actually be.
You know what? And that is part of my comment on this thing. These guys are. I mean, I love Pesci, De Niro, Pacino.
Love it.
But I mean, you know, and I watch Goodfellas every year. I watch Casino every year.
Yeah, fantastic movies.
But these guys are just too old to do this shit.
Yeah, wait, yeah. This
just doesn't. It no longer works.
It was a nice thought. But yeah, it just in reality,
I was so excited to see the gangs back together again, and then it turns out like, oh, the gang's back together again.
Oh yeah, they should be in a nursing home. This is not right. This is not good. I mean,
yeah, the only thing that looked natural in the entire movie was when it opened with Robert De Niro in a nursing home.
That's the only thing they didn't have to alter. Yeah, I just it was way too long, and as interesting as the story was, it wasn't that interesting to keep me. And just the de-aging and just watching these old guys act like they're not old guys.
Mhm.
It just didn't work.
Hey, that's my gig.
And I think they missed the mark on this one too, because if you look at all the other stories, you have like The Godfather and Casino and Goodfellas. Your protagonist in the quote unquote protagonist in the movie.
Yeah.
There's usually something likable about them.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, even in Goodfellas, where Henry Hill's just a bastard.
Oh,
but he started off, but he was a kid,
yeah.
right? Who got sucked into this, and his life went all to hell, and he became a bad guy.
Ray,
but there was some spark of something in him, right?
Yeah, Liotta. Yeah, Ray
Liotta.
Just say Ray now.
Ray Liotta. Wait. What is it?
Lolita.
Lolita.
Ray Lolita.
Lolita.
No, Ray Lorita. No, what is it?
Liotta.
Ray Liotta wanted to be in this movie. Like he said, "Hey, I want to be in this movie," and they never put him in. So.
And they were like, "Well, you're not quite as old enough that we."
Yeah. Sorry, you look too good. But I mean, all those characters had something about them. There was something about them you wanted to root for.
Yeah.
Even if they were bad guys.
Yeah.
This character De Niro played. I mean, it opened with him stealing from his employer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a bitch the entire movie, and then he beat a guy in front of a young girl just to show that he couldn't talk bad to. I mean, it was like he was a horrible human being the entire time. There was nothing you liked about him.
Okay. All right. I mean,
I just didn't like. There was no thread of I like this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he was a blue collar, hard worker type guy, I guess.
No, he wasn't. He was stealing from his boss.
Okay.
They
okay.
opened the movie him stealing. It was.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Ray Liotta was this kid who, in Goodfellas, it was just this kid.
Yeah, he didn't know any better.
This glamorous mob life across the street and kind of got sucked into it.
All right. Yeah.
Don. The whole Godfather. You had Michael, who was the straight-laced guy who got sucked into it with family. This was just like, look, I'm a prick.
Well, actually, this Scorsese had De Niro pitched him a different movie, different story, and Robert De Niro actually pitched this back at him. So it was his idea to actually do this film over what he originally had planned. So you can blame Robert De Niro on that there, Joe. So there you go. Yeah, this movie, I'm really torn because I don't want to say don't watch, because especially if you're a fan of these guys in these types of movies, it's nice to kind of see them back together, but in the same respect, it isn't, because it's so bad. It's so badly done.
I mean, even Todd looks terrible.
Yeah, I know he's in it. Right? I mean, they had a bunch of people in it, right? Harvey Keitel's in it. I mean,
Harvey Keitel. I was excited.
Some
when I saw
wonderful,
Harvey Keitel
yeah.
show up, but then he was in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's a very small part.
And actually, the only I'd say the true bright spot of this movie was Ray Romano.
Oh yeah, he was good, right?
Right. I've always hated his comedy and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, I like him. He is really good.
Now, I thought Hoffa, Al Pacino playing Hoffa, was really good. I liked him.
He did a good Hoffa.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I really enjoyed him. I liked the character. I liked the way he played him. So I'm gonna give this TV. I'm gonna say, yeah, definitely, it's worth the. I mean, it's 3.5 hours though, so it is a time sink to watch this movie, and I don't think Al Pacino's in the first hour and a half, right?
No, he's not in the first movie. He made it in 2 of the 3 parts.
He's
of the
in the sequel, yeah. But it's yeah. So I say TV, I suppose. Joe,
they couldn't really call it the Hoffa trilogy if he's not in the first movie.
What say you?
I guess I have to go TV as well. I mean, like you said, I mean, you can't say don't watch it because it's this classic combination, but they've just gone to that well too many times.
Well, I think this is definitely the last.
I can't recommend this movie.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I would much rather watch anything else.
Yeah.
By Scorsese.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? You could watch Casino and Goodfellas.
In the time, yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, also
number of F words.
The story, yeah, exactly. The story though is compelling too. If you don't know much about Jimmy Hoffa, I mean, it does give you a little bit of history, and how close to reality that is, I don't know. But So I mean, TV is, I think, a good place for it.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
It's just kind of sad. It just
Yeah.
Netflix now takes down Scorsese. Shit.
Oh, it's going downhill. All right.
That's it. Tarantino, do not sign a deal with Netflix, please.
For the love of God, man. All right, let's move right into Last Christmas. This was released November 8th, 2019, rated PG-13, runtime 1 hour, 43 minutes, starring, I don't know what the order of this starring. This is from IMDb. It has Madison, Ingoldsby, Emma Thompson, Boris Iskovich. Emily Clarke is listed 4th.
Amelia.
Huh? Oh, Amelia. Emily. Oh, I'm doing Emma Thompson. Yeah. Amelia Clarke is listed 4th in that list, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Thought she was the star of the movie.
She is. So I don't think that's, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
This is what's been wrong with the movie game the entire year.
Yeah.
And had I gotten any actors right, I would protest.
Well, first of all, you'd have to know the movie first, yeah. Description of this movie is: Kate is a young woman subscribed to bad decisions. Working as an elf in a year-round Christmas store is not good for the wannabe singer. However, she meets Tom there. Her life takes a new turn. For Kate, it seems too good to be true. Now that's a good description.
Oh,
Half these descriptions are the ninth movie
Maybe
by
you could
Quentin
have
Tarantino.
Alexa read these.
Yeah. Yeah, that way I have to do that. Well, I have to read them, then she'd have to read. Yeah, I have to do it anyway, so. Let's go into IMDb, because it's a 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes critics give it a 47%, while the audience gives it an 81. Box office budget is $25 million, and worldwide gross is $69 million, so it's making some profit. Notes: Amelia Clarke did her own singing in the film, so that's good.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to the title being based on a George Michael written song, Wham! Last Christmas, 1984, songs by George Michael would be used in the film, including the unreleased This Is How We Want to Get This Is How We Want You to Get High, which he worked on in 2016. All right, so that's the thing. Yeah, this movie, if you are a George Michael fan, you most certainly want to see this movie, because the whole soundtrack are his songs. It's just the song Last Christmas is sung by multiple people in this movie and over. So if you like George Michael, and which my wife does, and she went with me to see this movie, she absolutely loved this movie because of that. Now, I will say,
the Rocket Man for George Michael?
Yes, but it's not the George Michael story, unfortunately. So
they're just trying to make sure you get the twist before. If you just sing that song enough, you'll get the twist before.
Well, see, that's
the
the weird
movie.
thing about this. Okay, let me get that in a second, Paul. So, Joe, you said you went to see this movie and it was already out of the theaters.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to see it this past weekend, and it played one time at like 10:20 p.m. And that was the only showing of it. And I was like, all right, we're doing it. So, like on Friday night at 10:20.
And I'm like, oh my God, that movie's still in theaters. Let's go watch it.
No, yeah, it's at 10:20 only. It's one time in the middle of the night, as far as I'm concerned.
In Richmond and a Regal. Yeah, okay.
And amazingly, we went to it, and there was like 2 other couples in this theater to see this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, huh. I thought for sure we'd be the only ones to see it, but no, we were joined by others.
Well,
Now,
what other Christmas movies are out now? I mean, you think it would be making a killing, right? I'm in the mood for a Christmas movie. I mean,
yeah,
I
well,
don't
that's
know
what
what it is,
that's why I told my wife. I said, hey, the only showing is 10:20. We had to go that time. She goes, what are you talking about? It's a Christmas movie. How can it be only like? Yeah, it's on its way out. This is the last week, because after this week it's going to be gone. So we had to see it now. So there you go. So you can still see it, Joe, if you hurry up, come up to Richmond. But okay, so what you were saying, Paul, about being Last Christmas. So halfway through this movie, and if you don't mind spoilers, Joe, I guess it's out of theater, so you're out of luck. Spoilers ahead. Halfway through this movie, I had an inkling that, wait a second, I think this dude that she's having this affair with, or not having an affair, but having a relationship with, he might be dead. He might be the person. So what happened was, when she was younger,
Oh, no.
yeah, when she was younger, she had heart problems.
The overly literal lyrics.
Yes,
Go ahead.
very literal lyrics. She had heart problems, and she had a heart transplant that they reveal throughout the movie.
On Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, of course.
No. It has nothing to do with Christmas.
It doesn't? Okay,
No.
all right, go ahead.
No, I don't think so.
I think it was on
George
Christmas,
Michael
actually.
died on Christmas Day. Do you know that? I didn't even realize
Oh, really?
that.
Really?
Yeah, he had a heart attack on Christmas Day. Well, a heart attack of all things. So this is pretty interesting. So, yeah, so she had a heart problem. She had a heart transplant. And so she's working at this Christmas store, and she meets this strange guy, and they go for a couple walks. And throughout the movie, you know, he's changing her life for the better. And halfway through the movie, I thought, wait a second, what if he's dead? Like, he's not, because
So
like,
it was his heart.
yes, it turns out to be that case. And I thought of that halfway through the movie, but then I thought, wait a second, it can't be, because this is a Christmas feel-good romantic comedy type movie where the girl finds a guy and she gets her life turned around and they live happily ever after. So if he's dead, that's not going to happen. It's going to be a weird ending where she ends up
Does water destroy him?
single. I don't know. It never rained in the movie. I can't tell you for sure. And sure enough, at the end of the movie, it turns out, yes, he was the person who had the heart, and he's trying to, so she ends up alone at the end of the
I believe he died on Christmas or something weird. I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be overly literal lyrics.
It is
right?
super literal.
Last Christmas he gave you his heart, and the very next day. Now she didn't give it away, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, she'd be dead too if she gave it away. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But now, outside of the fact that it's weird and she doesn't end up with him at the end, you don't get like, oh, I mean, she turns her life around. She's happier. And her singing, she does a good job of being able to sing, but singing badly. Like, she does audition where she's singing, and it's not, like, really good. You're like, you can tell she can sing, but she's not doing it well. And at the very end of the movie, she sings, well, Last Christmas, believe it or not, and she nails it. I mean, it's wonderful. And I think that was part of the movie. Like, she was lost, and she's going through the steps, and she wasn't really dedicated to being a good singer. And at the end, she found everything, and she's in sync, and now she's a good singer or whatever. But, yeah, it's fantastic the way the ending of it when she sang that song.
It sounds
great.
like a Hallmark movie.
Uh,
Other than the fact that they don't end up together.
Now this is
a Hallmark movie. Even if he was a ghost, they'd end up together somehow.
Yeah, she would die and meet him or something.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Live forever. Well, die together forever.
Die
I'm
in
not
a
sure.
cheery way, of course. But,
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she would go with a big smile and they would walk off together.
In the clouds. Yeah. Wonderful. But this movie is a PG-13, and I'm shocked because it had some good. It was very funny. It had a lot of funny. Have you guys seen what's that other movie? That Christmas movie? Oh, so good. I keep talking about.
Only what? 2 Christmas movies?
Shut up.
Miracle on 34th Street.
No, that one. Okay, forget it. I'm not
What a Wonderful Life.
Emma Thompson's in it. She's into that one too.
Oh.
No, forget it. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But this movie has a lot of good comedic moments, and they're adult-ish comedic moments. So I guess PG-13 is right. I could see where it could go rated R though, but it's very funny. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. For a Christmas feel-good movie, it was weird because she didn't get with the guy. That was strange. But at the end of the day, she's happy and she's doing good for people.
That's kind of a progressive approach. She doesn't need a man to keep her happy.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what it is.
Just to keep her alive.
Yeah.
All she needs is his part.
Just to keep her alive. Oh, Paul, that is not me.
That is another really odd thing that maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe size-wise, isn't it kind of rare for a woman and a man to give a man to give a heart to a woman just because of the size of the heart? But anyway, I'm being overly literal. Sorry.
Yeah, that's unless you're the
men's hearts are naturally smaller, Paul.
Oh yeah. Three sizes.
Yeah, the Grinch. Cavity. Wow, but I enjoyed this movie. I'd say this is at least a stream for a Christmas movie. Like I said, I didn't really care for the ending. I wish he wouldn't have been a ghost. That way they could be together. But other than that, it was funny. It was heartful. And
did they make pottery together?
No,
wow.
Yeah, no ghost moments.
Did Whoopi tell her that she was in danger? You in danger, girl.
Yeah, that was a great Whoopi impersonation.
The sequel is going to be awesome.
Wow. But yeah, I gave this a stream. Emily Clarke did a really good job.
Amelia.
Emily. Why do I keep saying that? Oh, Emilia Clarke.
I'm just having a day today.
Oh man.
Yeah, you can't talk today.
No,
I
can't talk
having a
much.
stroke?
I'm having a heart attack. It's Christmas.
Yeah, he went and saw the Christmas movie. And he's into the eggnog already.
All right, let's move right into Frozen 2, released November 22nd, 2019, rated PG, runtime 1 hour 43 minutes, starring Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, and Josh Gad. Description: Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven leave Arendelle to travel to an ancient autumn-bound forest of an enchanted land. They set out to find the origin of Elsa's powers in order to save their kingdom. IMDb gives it a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes critics give it a 78%, while the audience gives it a 92%. Box office, the budget is $150 million. Worldwide gross is $763. So yeah, it's doing okay for itself. Notes: since Elsa was never barefoot in the original movie, the animators didn't bother giving her toes then. They had to remodel her feet with toes for the sequel. What does that mean? It's
on the 3D model, they had to, right? I mean, they use the same 3D models, I'm sure.
Are they just out of facts?
Yeah, you're right. That is.
I read that and like, what? It's just a cartoon.
Well, here's an interesting factoid.
I read that. I'm like, that is so weird.
Drew Shaggy's penis in the Scooby-Doo show because he had pants on.
Well, the next movie coming out, it's rated R.
Fun fact: Tarantino helped model the feet. No. Okay.
Yeah, also weird.
Extensive close-ups through the whole movie.
That was a really weird note. Okay, more notes. Walt Disney Animation Studio blank film, the last film of 2019. All right, guys, what number film is this from the Walt Disney Animation Studios?
Oh wow.
Oh, the last film in 2010s, should I say?
32.
I think this
You're talking about number of animated features I've had.
I think total, yeah.
Yeah.
32. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Do you count the? I assume you don't count the direct-to-video, or do you? Yeah. I mean, that makes it hard because then you're like talking 50s.
I don't have.
Do you count all the CGI in the Marvel movies?
No.
Because Black Panther's one of them.
Wow.
Do you count
You know
Cinderella 2, A Twist in Time,
this
or
is
do you
gone off the rails? Just give me a number.
28.
There you go. No, it was 61. It's a 61st film. There you go.
Oh, okay. I think they are counting those.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Those horribly.
Here are my thoughts. It was okay. My daughter, who is 13, liked it a lot. She rated it a little under the first Frozen, but really liked it. Everyone else who saw it, including my son, his girlfriend, me, and my wife, didn't think it was good as the original, and probably gave it, whereas the first Frozen gave it like a mid to high 9s rating. We gave this one more of mid 7s, so it's lost about 2 points or so.
That's what they give her weird feet.
Yeah, huge toes. I don't know what they're doing. It's like Bozo the Clown in here.
Were they webbed?
Oh. Yeah, of course. I don't know.
Corns all over him. It was terrible.
I mean, the story was a little. I don't know. It was okay. It was a good movie, but A, the songs weren't as good. I don't think the songs weren't as catchy, and B, it was too heavy. Like there wasn't enough light moments. There was it told a very particular story, had its arc, and Olaf did what he could to lighten it. But for the most part, it was it was driven more by a particular story they wanted to get to an end and had less fluff in the middle to get you there, I guess. I don't know. It didn't seem as good as far as I'm concerned. And like I said, with my family, I think we all agreed except for my daughter, who really, really liked it. So I'm saying Frozen 2 is also just a stream for me because it's just not. It's no Frozen. Now it's doing gangbusters at the box office. So Frozen 3 is probably going to be coming out anytime. So look for that. But I mean, it was all right. I mean, I would stream this probably, right? Pay a couple bucks to see it once in the comfort of my own home. But I wouldn't rush out to see this at all, even though it's doing very well. And I guess girls do like it as much. Guys have any questions about Frozen 2?
Nope. No.
Oh, good. Very good. Very good. I found it a little long, too. So, there you go. All right, and now let's move on to our feature presentation.
And now our feature presentation.
This feature presentation is Knives Out. I don't have a tagline. Oh, I screwed that up. Maybe there isn't one. We'll say there isn't one, but it probably is. Released November 27th, 2019. Director Rian Johnson. You may know him from Star Wars Episode 8.
Boo.
The Last Jedi, and The Looper, or just Looper. Paul, you just can't. You gotta. Rated PG-13, runtime 2 hours and 9 minutes, starring Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, so many people. Description: a detective investigates the death of a patriarch of an eccentric, combative family. IMDb gives it an 8.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes critics give it a 97%, while the audience gives it a 92%. So this thing is trending well. Box office budget $40 million. Opening weekend made $26 million. Gross in the U.S. it's made $53 million, and worldwide gross $82 million. Notes: the police detective heard on the television series Marta's sister is watching is voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, billed in the film's credits as Detective Hard Rock. Gordon-Levitt has appeared in all 5 of the films Rian Johnson has directed. So that's interesting, right?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
What was what?
What the name you just said? Because I was just looking him up, but I didn't hear you because I was looking for his name.
It was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was the young Bruce Willis in Looper.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Apparently he's been
in all of them.
I guess.
I was just trying to think of what he was in The Last Jedi, but
Yeah.
But he was also Cobra Commander, right? And in the G.I. Joe movie. And anyway.
Man, Cobra Commander. Cobra!
I think he was in 10 Things I Hate About You, too, right? When he was young.
Yeah, he was the other one. Yep. There you go. Rian Johnson wrote and directed Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Paul?
Boo.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Wow, Daniel Craig had an uncredited cameo as a stormtrooper in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Do you guys know this?
Yes, he was a stormtrooper. Yeah, he was the one that Rey says, Rey uses the mind trick on to get her to leave her alone in the room so that she can escape.
Ah, well, there you go. I like that. All right, that's all the notes I have. As far as the movie goes, I really like this movie. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was a little long. It drug a little in the middle, and I was like, okay, let's just wrap this up. But then once it started to unravel or reveal the secrets and the twists and stuff, I was immediately back in it, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. Oh, it was so good. So yeah, I really enjoy this movie. I say it's a first run all the way. Like I said, it was a little long in the middle, but other than that, I thought it was fantastically done, and I liked all the characters. Paul, your eyebrows went up a little. So what do you have to say?
What? Oh, what about me?
Yeah.
Oh, what did you rate it? I'm just curious.
First run.
No, I love this movie. This was great.
I
know
thought
that surprises you. I do boo him on Last Jedi. I feel like because it's not obviously it's not his politics that bother me. It's just that he wanted to subvert expectations, which he did in this movie as well. I'm okay with that in a mystery. I'm not okay with that in a like main sequence Star Wars movie. I felt like it disappointed me in a lot of ways. The Last Jedi. This movie was great. I mean, very political, right? He had a lot of political things to say, and it was fun. He subverted a lot of expectations. I guess it's a spoiler to say that, yeah, you find out who the killer is. What, half hour in? Pretty soon, right?
Yeah. They tell you.
But it's still a great movie.
Well, technically, I guess at the end when they reveal she didn't really do it. She didn't kill him.
Well,
yeah, there was
no. But the killer was always him. He always killed himself.
Yeah,
you find that out right away.
Okay. I thought you meant.
Yeah, but you were never sure. But you were never sure of it.
Well, I don't know.
He cut his throat, but if he was already dead, then cutting his throat was the formality, not the.
Yeah.
But they actually, pretty soon they actually showed him, right? Her coming in, and then they actually show him.
At one point, yeah, she.
Yeah, but had he actually been poisoned, then him cutting his throat wasn't what killed him, right? I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
If you feed me a bunch of poison and I shoot myself to avoid the pain of the poisoning, you still killed me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're dying of cancer and you call what's his face?
Kevorkian?
Kevorkian. You still died. Well, I guess no. In that case, he killed you. Yeah. It's a law. But yeah, cancer really killed you. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a formality at that point.
Well, anyway, I think however you want to parse it, I think you find out basically what happened about a half hour in, and you think that's the mystery. And yeah, of course, there's a twist. Twist was great.
Yes. Yeah, if there wouldn't be a twist, it would have been. I would have rated this very lower, much lower.
Yeah.
But
Chris
the twist
Evans
was
does an okay
fun,
job.
too. It wasn't even like one of those weird ones you're grown at it because the twist is terrible.
Yeah. And some of it, a lot of the beats are predictable, but the end got me. I hadn't put it all together. I hadn't really thought of that at all. In fact, I guess anyway. I don't want to give. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
I would definitely. I'd first run this. Especially if you like mystery movies, it was a good one.
Oh yeah, I love the whodunits. Yep, love it.
But I would not watch Last Jedi. Just warning you.
So Ryan Johnson double feature. You'd show up late to see this and not miss the last Jedi.
Yeah, definitely
right, gotcha,
not. Don't do
All
that.
right. Duly noted. All right.
Awesome.
And I did like Toni Collette's takedown of Gwyneth Paltrow's, which is kind of what I thought, they were going for there,
Okay, what?
Toni Collette, Toni Collette.
Yeah, Monk, right?
Monk?
Is that Toni Collette?
The mother, the
Oh wait.
You mean Tony Shalhoub?
What?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind.
In the movie, the woman that
Wow.
the daughter-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the one that wasn't part of the family.
Right. And
Yeah.
She kind of talked, and she had a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
They were making fun of Gwyneth Paltrow there, right? Because Gwyneth Paltrow has a lifestyle, and they used a very similar name to Gwyneth.
Oh.
To Gwyneth.
I totally. Yeah. No, I'm not cool enough to.
I'm just going to Monk.
I'm going like this is really off topic, Paul. Tony Shalhoub, wow. Sorry,
anyway,
Tony Shalhoub.
I thought that was amusing. I guess
You probably got more out of this than Joe and I combined, because you know all the little.
Paul works at a much deeper level than
Yeah. We're watching at face value.
Yeah, I'm in here. Oh, he stepped in the poopy.
Paul's like, well, that's a representation of the United States government.
Well, I mean, come on. You know that when he said, "You won this not by playing it their way, but by playing it your way," that was a political statement, wasn't it? Ryan Johnson was trying to say something about right now politics, I think. But I mean, whether he's right or not, I don't know. But
okay, all right. Like I said, you're on a much higher plane.
Yeah. I think Paul even sees in more colors than me.
Oh wow!
I have no experience of life. Like, wow.
Very intriguing. All right, Joe. So we haven't heard your rating. So what?
I love this movie. It is fantastic. And and the great thing was it was just self-aware enough to know when it was being stupid and make fun of itself.
All right,
like that horrible accent. The first time he talked, you're like, oh my God, what the hell are they doing? And then they start making fun of it just in time before it ruins the movie. And then it becomes fun. It's like, oh, okay. I get what you're doing here. I'm on board.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the whole cast was awesome. I loved everyone in the movie. Chris Evans, did he look way younger?
Yeah, they de-aged him.
They had to.
Yeah, no, he did look like.
This did seem kind of like maybe let's get out from under Captain America role. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And Garfunkel was in it, which I loved seeing her show up. Wish she had a bigger role, but
wait a second. Where is she at?
What's that?
Who was she?
She was. They aged her in that movie. She was one of the sisters.
What? Which one?
She was the one with the. It wasn't Toni Collette, but the other. She was married to God, what was it? Michael Shannon.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even pick up on that. Huh. Well,
I saw her. And, oh my God, it's Garfunkel. Loved it.
Where's Oates? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nice.
But yeah, I always think she's funny. And I actually, when I was on my way back from Florida, I listened to he had a Doug Loves Movies.
Oh.
He had an episode that had Ryan Johnson, Ricky Lindholm, and it's all people
Oh,
from the film.
really?
Yeah, and so they all talked about this movie and filming it and things like that, and they all had a lot of really funny Jamie Lee Curtis stories.
Oh, I have to listen to that
Talking
episode.
about it. Apparently, that house they rented it from some bajillionaire couple or something,
Oh, yeah.
and they were in there, and like Jamie Lee Curtis like took a shelf on their fridge. she was in there. She like met the family, became friends with them. She was like making breakfast with them and stuff while the crew's trying to set up.
Jeez. All right. That's
She
interesting.
ended up in like twice as many scenes as she was written for because she just showed up for work every day, even if she wasn't in the scene.
Wow.
They just started writing her into more and more of the movie.
Oh,
Because
that's
it's like,
good.
wow, she was just a pleasure. Yeah, Ryan Johnson's like, she's just a pleasure to work with. She's perfectly professional, and she was there every day.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
we wrote her in.
so if you're a fan of movies, which if you're listening to this, you are. Doug Loves Movies is a great podcast to listen to.
Yeah.
If you like games too. And did you see the 12 Days of Christmas has come out? 12 Guests of Christmas?
Oh, it's come out.
It's been out like a week or two. I haven't listened to it yet. So I've been
Really?
waiting for a
Because
special.
I was listening on the way up. I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, it's out. So I'm excited to listen to that. It's always a special episode he does for Christmas. But back to the movie. Joe, what do you give this rating?
I give it this first run.
Nice. Very nice. We all agreed. It's a very good movie. Am I the only one that thought it was a little long in the middle?
No, I didn't find it that. I mean, maybe.
Maybe because I didn't see a twist coming. So it's kind of like, okay, well, if this is just going to play out, let's just play it out and get over with it. But then it started twisting. That was like, okay. I kind of got a little out of it just because it took a little long to get it twisted.
I didn't notice the time passing. So
Yeah, I thought, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you're wrong.
Well, hell's bells. Good enough then. All right. Well, I think we are good. You guys have anything else to add about this movie or anything in general? Nope. Nope. All right. Well, I think that will wrap up this episode. So thanks again for Joe and Paul for joining me. And until next time, that's a wrap. Kate is a young woman subscribed to bad decisions. Working as an elf in a year-round Christmas store is not good for her wannabe singer. Or for her wannabe singer. Is not good for the not good. Kate is a young woman subscribed to bad. Kate is a young woman described. Jeez. Kate is a young woman subscribed to bad decisions. Quiet! I'm cutting some of this stuff out, so you can't just randomly laugh.
He finally nailed it. Paul starts laughing.
I know, right? You son of a bitch! Put it on mute.